Woman sees own face on missing persons list at supermarket. 19-year-old Jennifer watched as one day everything she thought to be the truth turned upside down, shaking the world she once knew. All it took was one visit to the supermarket for Jennifer to question everything and everyone she trusted in her life. Ticking things off the grocery list her mother gave her, Jennifer found herself speechless as she saw her own face staring back at her with one word written in bold: missing. Jennifer came back home for Christmas after an exhausting semester, ready for the feast she'd have with her parents. After having the chores distributed among the family members, she was set for her grocery hunt. With a list at hand, Jennifer could not have foreseen what she'd find at the supermarket. Going through the items on the list her mother had given her, Jennifer picked out each and every item carefully. She was about done with her trip when she realized there was one item left: a carton of milk. Making her way to the milk aisle, Jennifer saw something that made her do a double take. Scanning the milk cartons, Jennifer looked through the images on the cartons. Pictures of people of all ages were placed on the milk carton with the word "missing" written on top with all bold letters. Sitting among the other cartons of milk in the freezer, something strange caught her eye. Just when she was ready to pick up one of the cartons, she spotted something that sent chills down her spine. Printed on one of the milk cartons was a face that stared right back at her. Looking closer, Jennifer recognized the person on the milk carton. It was a picture of her own face from years back. Jennifer instantly grabbed the milk carton, putting it in her stroller. She needed answers and needed them now. Her drive back home felt excruciatingly long as the endless possibilities roamed her mind. Nothing made sense, but she knew she had to ask the only people who could have the answers to all her questions: her parents. Making her way through the front door of her house, Jennifer called her parents to the kitchen, not wanting to waste any more time. She placed the grocery bags on the kitchen counter as they both walked in, clueless to what Jennifer could possibly want. Jennifer quickly pulled out the milk carton and placed it in front of her parents, whose expression suddenly changed. Jennifer spoke up after the room turned silent. "Why is my picture on this carton and why does it say missing above my face?" she questioned. Her parents gave the same shocked reaction Jennifer had herself, expressing that whoever was making this prank was sick. Jennifer watched as her parents voiced their anger and confusion in complete and utter shock. Jennifer was more confused now than ever. She wanted to believe what her parents had to say, but something about this felt really wrong. Her phone then rang, reminding her of the plans she had of meeting her friend and neighbor Amy. The conversation ended there as she made her way to Amy's house, hoping to acquire some valuable advice. After venting to Amy about the events that unraveled, she felt her frustration reach its peak. Amy's mother then emerged from the doorway. With a worried expression, she let the two know that she will be walking Jennifer home. Amy tried to disregard her mother's comment, but she insisted, adding that she had to speak with Jennifer's mother about something, which raised suspicion for the two. Reaching home, Amy's mother joined Jennifer's parents in the living room. Jennifer's mother then asked Jennifer to get changed, for their guests were about to arrive. Feeling apprehensive about what was going to happen, Jennifer acted as if she was going upstairs and hid in a spot where she could overhear the entire conversation. Jennifer listened in as she heard Amy's mom urge her parents to tell their daughter the truth, explaining that it is better if she heard it from her parents than if she went on to discover the truth by herself. Unable to hold her composure any longer, Jennifer walked back into the room, ready to catch them red-handed. "What is the truth? What are you hiding from me?" Jennifer demanded. Unable to hide the truth any longer, Jennifer's mom spoke up. She explained that the picture wasn't a prank, but a mistake. Jennifer was indeed once missing, but that was before she started living with her parents. Unable to understand all this new information, Jennifer sat down and listened to all of what her parents had to say. Jennifer got lost when on a trip with people from the adoption agency. She was then found by her now adoptive parents. It did not take them long to fall in love with her personality and pure heart, which opted them to adopt her, seeing as to how they were already looking to adopt. Despite learning the truth, the family had one last thing that they needed to do. The newfound truth brought Jennifer closer to her parents rather than causing a change for the worse. The family then went together and cleared up the misconception with the police that were still accidentally sending out her picture for printing. Jennifer's story turned out to be a wholesome one, but sadly not all the people who had their pictures printed on these milk cartons could say the same.